Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Hard Boiled, a Hong Kong action flick from 1992 that was directed by John Woo. Chow Yun Fat stars as a hard-boiled cop named Tequila, who is hell-bent on bringing down the gun smugglers responsible for his partner's death. He teams up with an undercover cop, played by Tony Leung Chiu Wai, whose secret identity as a triad hitman hangs by a thread. Now, can our protagonists survive the plethora of shootouts and waves of ruthless gangsters that are thrown at them by the triad boss Johnny, played by Anthony Wong? That's the question of this film. Now, right from the start, I'm going to tell you this. If you have somehow not seen this movie and you're a fan of action flicks, go and watch it right now. It's easily in my top 10 favorite action films of all time and could possibly make my top 5. It's that good. Now, one of the big reasons for this is because it's one of the most action-packed gunplay movies ever made. I remember renting this for the first time from my local video store, maybe during the late 1990s. I saw the VHS case and I said to myself, oh, it's the guy from the Replacement Killers. I liked him in that movie. I may as well check this one out. I mean, how bad can it be? And I kid you not, I was losing my mind during the opening 10 minutes of this movie. You know, Hard Boiled begins with a crazy shootout in a tea house that could easily be the big finale in any other action movie. You know, a sequence that awesome should really be the highlight ending of an action movie. But in Hard Boiled, it's only the beginning. It's ridiculous. So just in case you have not seen this, I'm not going to mention every action beat, but what I will say is that the finale is just utterly spectacular. John Woo's use of camera work in his action design is really impressive here, and the best camera shot of the entire film could be during the finale. You know, it looks like it was shot in a single take, and it seamlessly shifts between first-person and third-person perspective as our protagonists battle their way through just hordes of bad guys. It's really exciting stuff. Now, most people out there, feel like there's more dramatic impact to some of this director's other earlier works. Like A Better Tomorrow or The Killer. And don't forget Bullet in the Head. That one is underappreciated. But in terms of pure entertainment value, Hard Boiled is my favorite John Woo film. It's extremely entertaining from minute one right to the last minute. You know what I mean? It's lean, it's mean, and it cuts out all of the unnecessary fat and dull filler completely out of the story. This is over 2 hours long, I think, and it feels a lot shorter because it just keeps moving. You know what I mean? But still, I do think that Hard Boiled is somewhat underrated in terms of characters and story. Our protagonists are cool, they're likable, and have some emotional moments that they need to deal with. For example, one of my favorite scenes of emotion in this film is when Tony Leung's character is face-to-face with his triad boss in a big warehouse, and his reaction to what happens in that scene is just a fantastic dramatic moment, I think. It was really good acting performance, too, from him. And, I did genuinely want to see our protagonists work together and have a happy ending. So, I actually cared for their well-being. So this movie definitely did something right on a dramatic level. And it also helps that the actors have great chemistry together and play off one another effortlessly. This is the coolest that Anthony Wong has ever looked in a film. He's always wearing like a nice suit in this flick and looking slick, which is kind of a big difference from his physical appearance in something like The Untold Story, which came out the following year, right? So Wong's character is not especially complex in Hard Boiled, but he lights up the screen every time you see him. And then you have some memorable side characters like Mad Dog, one of Anthony Wong's henchmen, who is incredibly difficult to kill, but also has a certain moral code that comes into play. I wonder if Mad Dog from The Raid was named after this guy from Hard Boiled. I want to say that I remember reading it or seeing it somewhere where Gareth Evans said that he inspired his Mad Dog character in some way. I could be wrong on that, but I would not be surprised if that's the case. There's nothing more that needs to be said about this film. Hard Boiled blows away virtually every other gunplay movie put on film. It comes very highly recommended, and it's a must-watch for fans of action movies. It's also widely available everywhere for viewing, so check this out. And as always, I'll see you next time.